Hey guys, what's up? MurderofBirds here, and I apologize for my hiatus from doing the Naruto anime reviews, but I am back, and it is such a great time to be back because this episode was phenomenal. It was great. It was amazing on all fronts. The pacing was really good more than anything. I actually went in and looked, and this one episode was actually 3 manga chapters, which is really good in how they managed to condense all of that information seamlessly and made it work for this episode. Animation was on point. I definitely liked the animation. This episode was a lot better, in my opinion, I think, than last week's. But the feels, dude, the feels were insane. But the entire episode was really great. I loved, where we started to where we are now. Things are really developing, things are really heating up, and I'm really excited and looking forward to future episodes. So the start of the episode was really good. Naruto, the whole Shinobi Alliance jumping into that giant pit to deal with the Ten Tails, and I felt like that was their instant mistake of underestimating how powerful and how reckless that their actions were, because the Ten Tails just burst out of those rocks that it was trapped in. Its tails change, its face changes, and it undergoes its first transformation. And I thought that shit was ridiculous. I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be ridiculous. This is gonna be insane. And its model, the model that it looks like now, and for me, it's like, okay, it went from this giant husky, monster to a skinny, slim version of itself. It has a hand, it has like a really skinny exterior, and then it has hands on the end of its tail, which I thought that was pretty cool too. But Madara and Obito are wasting no time, and I like how the transition of the Shinobi Alliance pretty much getting feed from Inoichi and Shikaku. Madara noticed that because he realized that the Shinobi Alliance is working way too organized. They're too much in sync with each other, that there's got to be someone pulling the curtains from behind the scenes. So Madara takes the same thing that Naruto applied with, we got to take out the brains of the operation. We got to take out Madara and Obito to deal with the Ten Tails. And he does that exact same thing, but with the Jubi, with shooting those crazy-ass beams, those crazy-ass, I call them like cascade bombs, because that's what they look like. They looked like sideways cascades, and they were all red. It was like a condensed, stronger version of the Biju bomb. So he's already launching it, shooting it, and he's trying to find the HQ, he's trying to find the headquarters. Along the way, he destroys the city, destroys mountains, just completely obliterating everything in its wake. And I'm like, how the hell are these guys going to get, how the hell are they going to deal with this? And the first crazy feels of the episode is right before their death. Shikaku relays, the ultimate ploy, the ultimate plan with stopping the Ten Tails, essentially. And I really felt bad at that point for Shikamaru and Ino, because it's like they had already gone through some really heavy losses throughout the series with losing Asuma before the war even started, and now both of them losing their fathers, losing Shikaku as well as Inoichi, and I was just like, damn, like this war is crazy. Naruto realizes what has happened, and he's wavering at this point with, he's trying to stay strong, he's trying to have his resolve, his conviction, but at the same time it's like he can't ignore what's happening in front of him. Two really pivotal characters, along with everybody else that was there leading the headquarters, leading with intel and stuff, they're gone. But they left one final plan with dealing with the Ten Tails, and the Ten Tails finds him, blows up the establishment. And I like how Madara kind of applied that. That just tells how how intellectual he is, and he's able to apply things on the spot, because he realized Naruto was doing that. He was like, yeah, that's a fundamental strategy, that's really useful, let me try it now on your. So now the Shinobi Alliance they're all scattered at this point. They have no base of operations for coordinating strategies and functions. So I'm wondering how the hell they're going to deal with that. Also, along the way, we find out a really big conflicting issue between Madara and Obito, because we find out that the Jubi is going to be going through some transformations, and as he transitions to further states, he's not going to be able to be controlled as well. So at that point, it's like, for him to be controlled, he needs to have a host. Someone needs to be the Jinchuriki for him. We find out that Madara plans to be the Jubi host, but he can't be Ito Tensei. He has to be living. And we also know that Obito is Renegon, so Obito is going to essentially have to sacrifice himself, kill himself in the process of Rene rebirthing, using the Rene rebirth jutsu to bring Madara back so he can become the host. And Obito realizes that, and he's pretty much taken the upper hand at this point. And he's aware of his position. He's aware of how delicate the situation is for Madara. So now he's pretty much calling the shots, and Madara's just taking the back seat. He's like, okay, I'll let you do what you want to do. Have your fun right now. So I think there's going to be some conflict between these two as we progress for who's going to be the Jubi, who's going to, you know, get the power, who's going to be killed off or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But as we moved on, and this is really emotional for me at this point, is the fact that the Jubi just went relentless, went crazy, dude. Used the wood style technique and was just destroying characters, destroying fodder, shinobi, and it was crazy. And it was like I felt so helpless. I was like, what the hell are they gonna do? And someone gets caught in the crossfire. Naruto uses his Rasen shurikens. He's down. He's, you know, he's exhausted. Hinata goes to protect him, and I just love that moment. I was like, this just shows how much Hinata cares for Naruto, how much she loves Naruto, and how much I feel that these two need to be have to be together, or need to be together, or should be together, I should say. And then Neji comes in, and Neji sacrifices himself, gets pierced by like 5 or 6 of these spears, and goes down. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it, because Neji, for you guys who don't know, Neji is my favorite character in Naruto. I've loved his development since he started, since he was first introduced in Part 1. His crazy mindset with not being able to, you know, to get away from destiny, to get away from your, you know, the path that you're destined to walk. And I just loved his development. He was really arrogant. He was really harsh at the beginning, and then his ways with Naruto, he changed. Naruto ended up changing him, and he became really more open. He became more friendly and more reliable as a person. He was the first Jonin of his class, and he was like he was the genius of he was the genius, not only the genius, but also one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in the Hyuga clan. And I just loved everything about him, dude. And he sacrificed himself, and I got so emotional I started crying the episode, and I didn't understand, like, I think it was that coupled with the fact that he realized now what it was like for his father to give up his life for his comrades, to willingly give up your life to protect all those that you care about, so that way they can progress, and that way Naruto can exceed and stop the war and all that stuff at the cost of his own life. That, along with the music and the flashbacks of Naruto, you know, and the whole confrontation that them two had in Part 1, it was just done so beautifully well. And I'm devastated, because now my favorite character is gone, and I'm just like, why did it have to be Neji? It's like, it was a good plan, like, I understand, but it was just so beautifully done, and I enjoyed it. And, you know, Neji just went down like a boss. He went out like a hero, and you know, in the end, it's going to pay off for the Shinobi Alliance, because everybody's death this episode, they just strengthen, they just become martyrs to strengthen the resolve and the conviction, and to reinforce Naruto that no matter what, at this point, every sacrifice needs to not be in vain. You have to get your shit together. And he gets his shit together because Obito and Madara are trying to break his will. Hinata comes in, slaps him in the face. She was like, yo, you need to get your shit together no matter what. You know, like Neji said, your life is not your own anymore. You have me. You have everybody here. You have Kurama. You know, the conviction and everything that your parents went through. You know, everything was for a reason. And I just loved how it was done. I love how that part was done so well. And I love how she resolves him to, you know, he comes back too, and then she also reciprocates his ninja way, his nindo as her nindo. Like, I never go back on my word, because that's your nindo, so that's mine too. So I love that Naru-Hina moment that we had at the end of the episode. It was really awesome. And it seems like Naruto is going to start initiating the plan that Shikaku left behind, because he goes Biju power up, and he's holding Hinata's hand, and she gets the Jubi cloak. The Biju cloak as well, the red one. So I'm looking forward, like I said, it was a very well done episode. I loved everything about it, the feels, the pacing, and I was crazy about the pacing too. I was like, wow, 3 chapters was amazing. So the pacing was great, the animation was on point, the feels were ridiculous, the progression with the war, it's really heating up now. We just lost a lot of shinobi, so it's time for the Alliance to work together, move forward, and to, you know, devise a strategy as a comeback to dealing with these, dealing with the Ten Tails, Madara, and Obito. But great episode overall. Let me know what you guys thought about it, what you guys liked about it, what you didn't like, you know, what are you guys expecting in the future. Also, if you guys leave a like and subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate that as well. That would really help me out. But that's all I got for this episode. Phenomenal episode. I can't wait for next week's. Thank you guys for watching, and until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.